What's up, everyone? My name is Matthew Dale, and if you checked out my review on the Strandberg Boden Original, you will have noticed that at the end of that video I said that I really liked that Strandberg, and it definitely wouldn't be my last, and lo and behold, it wasn't. I recently picked up this Strandberg Boden Fusion NX. It's still a mouthful of a name. But to shorten that up, this is just the Strandberg Fusion. The NX tagged on the end is nomenclature for their next generation hardware, and a couple of other features that are new to this particular model series. Let's take a look at the overall specs, and then I will give you my personal opinions on this instrument. Starting from the top down, obviously this is a headless design, so no tuners or anything going on up here besides the NX locking nut or the string lock up here. This is one piece as opposed to the individual pieces on previous generations. We also have a nylon or a plastic nut, but then a 0 fret. So the nylon nut doesn't really make a big difference since we do have a stainless steel 0 fret in front of it. On the Fusion model, we also get a rosewood fingerboard. We get 24 stainless steel frets. Luminlays arranged in this upper side, and then switch over to the lower side configuration, which I think is cool looking. And the neck itself is a 5-piece maple carbon fiber maple construction. New with the NX, they stopped roasting the maple necks. Instead, they are going to a kiln dried, and by their reasoning, at least on the website, it's to produce less waste. Apparently, the roasted maple would tear out and chip and would get quite brittle from the roasting process, so they switched back to kiln dried to eliminate that. I personally really like the look of roasted maple, so I still want a guitar with roasted maple, but this seems to be just fine, and it's been incredibly stable. I've been traveling around with this guitar, which I'll get into more later on, but the neck feels great. It's got a satin finish on the back, and it seems, like I said, to be very stable for different climate conditions. We also have a dual action truss rod in here if you were to make any sort of adjustments, but those carbon fiber strips in here do help to keep this neck nice and straight. Down to the body of the Strandberg is an alder body. It is chambered, and we have a maple top. A new addition for the NX series is it's no longer a solid flame maple. This is a flame maple veneer and a maple cap. And then we also have the tremolo cavity back here. Notice I did some updates in this. I'll talk about this more later on. This is not stock. If I can get into my view here, I got my strap on, so it's like kind of awkward, but I installed a tremble note. I'll talk about that later on. We have the control cavity access here. This is like a solid piece of metal, probably the same aluminum that they use for the hardware that integrates the jack plate. I think that's a really smart design. Bolt-on maple neck with the contoured neck heel. Let me get this back around here so it's less awkward. Still going along with the body, we have this metallic Strandberg logo right here. I think this looks a lot better than my original that is color matched the body. It's a red raised, this being this metallic finish over the wood finish on the top, I think is really smart looking. I like that a lot better than my original. Another big complaint that I had for my original was I just didn't think that the top looked all that great. Now, full transparency, my original is a factory refurb. I bought that to get, a little bit of a better deal on. The guitar plays great and it sounds great, so I'm not really too worried about any sort of cosmetic flaws. But this one I bought brand new factory from strandberg.com, and I really like how the top looks. Maybe I'm just a sucker for flame maple, and maybe I'm not a huge fan of like burst finishes. Maybe I like solids better. I don't know, but I think this top, even though it is a veneer, I think this top looks really, really great. pickups in an HSH configuration. The bridge humbucker is a Sir SSV Plus, so a vintage, kind of a high output PAF sound. The middle pickup is a V60LP. I think that's the name of it. I don't know what that means. All I know is it's basically a vintage Strat middle pickup type of thing. And then the neck pickup is one of my favorite neck pickups that I've come to love, which is the Sir SSV pickup here. This is the same pickup that is in my Strandberg Boden original. I really like the way this neck sounds. We've got that hooked up to a master volume and a master tone and a 5-way blade switch. And then all the way down on the back, we've got the Strandberg tremolo hardware, which I mentioned a second ago. I did a little bit of a mod to it. And of course, we have the individual tuners here where you feed the strings through, lock it up there, and this entire plate, if I can, moves back and forth, and that's how you activate the tremolo. This is, of course, a multi-scale instrument. The scale length of the low E string is 25.5 inches, like a Fender scale length, and the high E string is 25 inches like a PRS. And upon getting this guitar, I went ahead and set it up for 11 to 50 gauge Stringjoy strings, my preferred string at the moment. Let's go ahead and play through some examples and take a look at the pickup combinations. I've got a Mesa Boogie Lone Star preset called up in my Axe Effects. I'm plugged straight in, and all the way down we get the bridge humbucker. So, a little bit mid-rangey, definitely like a vintage PAF type of sound, but it really actually works nice for a clean pickup sound. Let's go to position 2. That would be the inner coils here. So this is the furthest coil, the slug coil of the bridge humbucker, and then the center position. Such a good sound. Let's do the center position. This is not the center pickup. This is the two outer coils, the screw coil on the neck and then the screw coil on the bridge. Really great sound there, very telly-like. Let's go to the position 4, which is probably my favorite pickup combination on this guitar. This is going to be the screw coil on the neck and then the center pickup. Very Strat position 4 type sound. And then we have the neck humbucker. Which, even though it's a humbucker in the neck, it still retains a really nice clarity with kind of some full-bodied girthiness. Let's go ahead and hit this with a little bit of drive. I've got a Klon set up to go into the front end of this Mesa Boogie Lone Star amplifier in my Axe Effects. And I got a little bit of delay going. That's the bridge pickup. Sounds really good. Here's the position 2. Position 3, the outer coils. Let's hear the Klon on position 4 with some obligatory John Mayer licks. way that position sounds. Let's hear the neck pickup with the Klon by itself. Love that. Really nice and full, but retains a lot of clarity to it as well. Okay, so opinion time. Why would I buy this guitar? What does this guitar do for me as a player? Many of my regular viewers might know that for the last couple weeks I've been a little bit absent on YouTube, and that's because I've been working on a new show called $1 Million Time Machine, and I bought this guitar specifically for that project. There's a lot of songs on our set list that really require the use of a tremolo to be really accurate to the guitar parts. And since I'm going for as much accuracy as I can, I wanted to do this gig with a guitar with a tremolo. Now, my DGT has one, but I wanted a second as well, a second guitar that had a tremolo to have an alternate or a backup. My PRS 594 is obviously a stop tailpiece, as is the Boden original. So when I was first looking at guitars, I was between either the Strandberg Fusion, the Strandberg Classic, the more Strat-looking one with the hum single-single configuration, or one of the 3 pickup offerings from PRS, whether that was the special semi-hollow, which I'd still like to get my hands on one of those at some point, and I was also kind of maybe leaning towards a modern Eagle 5. But with both the PRS guitars being in the $4,500 to the $5,000 range, and the Strandberg coming in at $2,500, I went ahead and went for the Strandberg. Although it doesn't have the individual coil splits for the bridge and the neck like the PRSs do, it hits all of the sounds that I really want to get out of the guitar by use of the 5-way. And the 5-way is a lot faster. Another benefit with this, as opposed to the Strandberg that was HSS, every single configuration in this guitar is hum canceling, which the more and more I play live in old theaters or out wherever where power is questionable, the more I'm sensitive to 60 cycle hum as an annoyance. Now, I gig with my Axe-Fx and my FM3, and those have great noise gates in it, but I still like, especially on like a very clean tone, I don't want the noise to pop out when I'm playing. I'd rather things just be as quiet as they can. This guitar also has shielding in the cavity, which helps cut down on the noise further. I've had 0 issues on the road with this guitar with noise. It's been great. So I literally got this guitar just a few days before I left for Tech Week, and I've been using it on the performances ever since. I originally dialed in my presets with my DGT, and I was going to be using that as my main, but I've been enjoying this so much that I've just been doing the shows and the rehearsals with this guitar. One thing that I will say is the intonation adjustment, because you have to loosen the string, move it out of the way, loosen a bolt that's in the inside, and then kind of guess and slide the saddle around until you feel like it's probably where it should go, and then tighten everything back up, get it back in tune, and then guess again, is a little bit annoying, but I don't plan on changing the strings, the string gauge on this anytime soon. I'm going to keep with those String Joy 11 to 50s, so I don't have to do that process ever again for the time being. Of course, this is a Strandberg, so it is really light, it's really comfortable. It has the Endure neck, which I've grown to really like. I think it's a really good design. It's a very comfortable design. I don't notice any hand or wrist pain after playing for long hours of the day. And as I mentioned in my original review, if you are thinking about trying a Strandberg, don't think about the weird body shape. Don't think about the weird neck shape. Don't think about anything aside from the fact that it's just a guitar. Just sit down and play it. Don't even think about the fan frets. Just sit down and play it and just see what your body tells you. If you like it, if you don't like it, whatever. As far as use for the tremolo, since this is kind of a big reason why I bought this guitar, this is really smooth. There's no play in the arm. I've got the collar tightened up to a point where wherever I spin this and leave the arm, it will stay, which is really nice. Overall, I mean, I'm really impressed with the way that this hardware works. It looks really good, too, with the black and the yellow, the amber finish and the black. It is a really good-looking guitar. The only negative that I really see with the Strandberg guitars is you're going to have to explain to people why you play such a weird-looking thing. When I first saw the Strandbergs, when I first saw their profile, I took a look at it and said, so that's what happens when a computer designs a guitar. And it definitely has this futuristic look, and the overall ethos of this company and these guitars is everything that a guitar needs with nothing that it doesn't need, right? So there's no body material here. There's very little here. We have cutouts for legs, cutouts for different positions. It's very light. It's chambered. It's got a very ergonomic neck. No headstock. You don't need that. Get rid of that. The gig bag as well. It's nothing that you don't need a gig bag to be. It's got some straps. It's got some pockets on the inside. It's really, really thin. It's everything that you need and nothing that you don't. And I've been gigging around and touring with this guitar for the past 3 weeks, and I've just been using the regular gig bag. Now, the greatest thing about Strandbergs in this scenario is I can take my guitar in this bag and I can put it in the van that the band is traveling in. There's enough room because this is a small package. I don't need to put this in the equipment truck with all the other road cases kind of flapping around and whatever. And I can also take my guitar into the hotel room with me at night. It's not in a big, heavy hard case or a road case. It's just in the little gig bag, and I'm almost treating it kind of like luggage. Now, I've seen a lot of people talk about Strandberg on the internet about fret ends or weird consistency issues of quality. I'm happy to report on mine, the fret edges are really smooth, and they're well rounded over. I don't have any fret sprout or any sharp edges here. The bodywork is really good. I don't see any blemishes. Overall, I've had a really good experience with ordering Strandberg guitars from their website, and I'm sure if you ordered from Sweetwater with their inspection check, you'd have even better luck. Now, if I was to recommend a Strandberg guitar to anyone, I would definitely say that the Fusion takes the cake. I think this has the most versatile pickup layout. The hardware is top-notch. This stuff just stays in tune incredibly well. Being on the road and performing with this day in and day out, I'm really only tuning this up maybe once a day, and more often than not, I'm just putting my tuner on and looking at the tuning and not making any adjustments because it's still in tune from last night's performance or rehearsal. I really like the maple and the alder combination. Of course, I love this amber color and the rosewood fingerboard. Also, if you want to make this the ultimate Strandberg, I modded this with a tremolo unit so that I can lock the tremolo. This has a couple of benefits for the Strandberg in particular. Yes, you can get a little bit more of a fixed bridge sound when you're doing like pedal steel bends and stuff like that, or drone notes and you're bending strings. But it also makes this a lot easier to change strings. If you lock the tremolo unit and your bridge will stay where it's at, you can take all the strings off, no problem. Clean the guitar, wipe things down, maybe do a little bit of lemon oil on the fretboard, string things back up, lock the strings off, and then get it back to tune. Undo the tremolo, and you are good to go. You don't have to fight the springs anymore. If you are interested in seeing how I installed the tremolo on this Strandberg, then stay tuned to the channel, hit the subscribe button, and you will see that video come out next week. As you can probably guess by now, I really can't say enough good things about this Strandberg and Strandberg guitars in particular. I'm a very happy owner of this new Strandberg Boden Fusion NX. Stay tuned on the channel if you want to hear more on this Strandberg Fusion, and of course, stay tuned to the channel if you want to play better, sound great, and understand more. My name is Matthew Dale. I've had a good time chatting with you about guitars. I'll see you guys on the next one.